Okay, we're starting right away. I believe I'm audible enough, right? Okay. Good evening, everyone. From wherever you are connecting with us, we'll welcome you to this online ballet talk show. We have with us Ms. Deborah Engerman from the United States. And of course, you're going to be hearing from her tonight. And then we also have, this program was set up by Goodness Ballet Dance Academy in conjunction with Shabbat Music and Dance Academy, which the artistic director is currently not present because he's having a program somewhere right now. And we also have the Ultra Best Dance School in Lagos. And we also have Partial Expression from Lagos as well. We welcome you to this amazing talk show. And now I would love to hand over to Patricia to read out the biography of our guest, Ms. Deborah. Patricia, over to you, please.
Hello, can you all hear me? I was muted, sorry.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, so I would like to officially and formally welcome everybody to this program this evening. We've looked toward this program for quite a while now, and I'm so excited because I got quite a lot of positive response from my parents to join in. They were quite excited, and I'm equally excited. And I know all the parents from Goodness Ballet Academy, Ultra Best, and Shabak as well are going to have a swell time today because oftentimes parents have been looking forward to like, okay, what does ballet do? What's the importance? How do we blend it in? How does it work? So I believe such questions are going to be answered here today. So I'd like to formally welcome everybody and especially welcome our speaker for today, Mrs. Deborah Engerman. I hope I get your surname correctly. And if I don't, please, my apologies. Okay, thank you. So I'll like to read Mrs. Engerman's profile. It's quite a rich one, and I'm excited. So after returning from touring Europe as ballet mistress with Rock the Ballet, Mrs. Engerman took on the role of director of Maryland Classical Dance Academy between 2010 to 2020, along with teaching at Champ City Ballet Dance Conservatory of Maryland and Susquehanna Dance Center. She trained early in life with the Baltimore Ballet under Wendy Robinson in the RAD, Royal Academy of Dance tradition, passing her graded exams. Her classical studies also include training with Petrus, Bosman, David Keener, and Christine Hennessy. Later, while pursuing BA in International Policy at Dixon College, she continued her study of classical ballet with the teachers of Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet. Her dance training also includes Wanganova technique, French methodology, and the dance education program at Towson University. Miss Engerman has staged ballet, I beg your pardon. Miss Engerman has staged ballet to include the Nutcracker, the Swan Lake, and Act Two. Dancers trained by Mrs. Engerman have earned professional contracts and danced with Universal Ballet, ABT, Completions, the Washington Ballet, the Vienna Opera Ballet, the Boston Ballet, Nashville Ballet, Ballet Incorporated, Texture Ballet, Hubert Ballet, and on Broadway. She has also been a coach to dancers succeeding at numerous international ballet competitions, such as the Prix de Lausanne, the Vanna IBC, and the Youth America Grand Prix. Our student, Andrea Catena, took the junior gold medal at the 1998 Jackson, USA International Ballet Competition. She's currently happy to continue to train dancers in MD and PA while living with her husband in South Central PA. Thank you so very much. So I'd like to hand over to you, Ruben.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Patricia. That was amazing. Okay, so well, this biography was actually read out to you all, our esteemed parents, for you to know the guest who we are dealing with today, who is handling this session for us today. It's important for you to have knowledge of her experience and also to know her personality. So right now, without wasting much of our time, we'll just go straight to the session. The subject matters. 1 second, please. Okay, so we'll go straight to the subject, which says applying ballet into life mechanism. These are important and very vital area of our lives, in area of discipline, education, and social. These are important area of children. We want to know how does that concern their discipline, their education, how does it affect their education? Is it positive, negative, whatever? And also their social life, how does that affect it too? So our guest here was just going to be doing justice to those topics. Thank you. Ms. Deborah, on to you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I should talk yet or no.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for inviting me to speak with you. It's an honor to be invited to speak with you, and I want to thank you for having me participate in this Zoom panel. And yes, you are pronouncing my name exactly correctly, which is people here often say it the wrong way, but you're saying it exactly right, Deborah Engerman. So I'll just get right into everything, and then at the end, if you have questions, I'm open to hearing all of your questions and doing my best to answer them. I will start. Can everybody hear me okay right now? I think everybody okay. I want to first of all let you know I do have 2 dogs. I hope they'll be quiet. I apologize if they start making a lot of noise, but we'll hope they stay quiet. I want to talk about ballet training. I've been teaching, you can hear my resume, I've been teaching ballet for almost 30 years. And I have a lot of experience. I've met a lot of students and been part of bringing them up into society. And what I can say, I will break it down. Ballet training supports humans meeting their full potential in 2 primary ways. I'm only going to talk about one of those ways for the most part, but the 2 ways are, the first one is very obvious. Professional ballet training prepares a dancer, a student, to have a career in the professional world of dance as a performer or a teacher, whether that be ballet or not. And we're not here to talk about that, but that is one of the primary reasons for studying. If somebody is going to study ballet in a rigorous program where they're in dance class every day, it prepares them to be able to move on into a dance company or become a dance teacher. The second way, and why we're here today, the reason that we're discussing, is that very same training also develops the minds and the bodies of these students to become the strongest self and the most aspirational self that they can become by instilling certain skills and ethics into them as people through the training. And we're talking about 3 of those today. The discipline, and then how it helps their education, and also socially and culturally, how it helps them develop. So I'm going to talk to you today about how ballet students and serious dance students can take the skills they learn through rigorous ballet study and dance training and apply those skills into their life, their full life, to meet their full potential all around as a successful human and help them live the life that they want to live. So that's where we're going to go. I'm going to first talk about the area of discipline. And there is a lot of overlapping. You know, I'm talking about discipline and education and social cultural skills. There's a lot of overlap, and you'll hear that. So I'll start with discipline, but that will overlap into education a lot, you know, obviously. So professional or any kind of really structured, rigorous dance training builds discipline and self-control into the students just through the training. Here are a few ways that happens. First of all, there are numerous strict rules and etiquette that ballet students are required to uphold when they're in a dance classroom. They are required to wear certain attire and keep their hair neat. They are required to be quiet and wait until the appropriate time to speak. They are also required to have regular, consistent attendance and simply show up regularly in order to remain in the level of training that they're remaining in. If they miss too much, they will often be moved down. So they learn that they have to show up and do the work in order to succeed. And they then, through all these rules and all these requirements, they learn that in order to succeed in the dance program, they have to instill these ethics and morals and skills in themselves. And then once those skills are instilled in them as people, they can carry that out beyond the ballet classroom. So some other examples of what is instilled in them in a dance, in ballet particular, tardiness is not tolerated in a ballet classroom. In many ballet classrooms, I can say mine, if a dancer is more than 15 minutes late, they are not permitted to take class. They can come in and watch class and take notes. So dancers learn to discipline themselves to show up on time, or they will miss out on whatever it is that they want to succeed in, what they want to achieve. It's also not possible, it is not physically possible to succeed and achieve a like to become a virtuoso dancer, a high level dancer, without significant effort, without the hard work. If you do show, even if you show up every day and you meet that part of the requirement, if you don't work incredibly hard, you will simply not progress quickly or progress well enough in ballet to move up in levels and to eventually become a dancer. So that is also instilled in the person, that not only do you have to show up every day, but while you're there, you have to put forth a major effort in order to succeed. And they take that skill into their life, that they learn, dancers and students learn, I have to show up on time, I have to conduct myself a certain way, and I have to work really hard in order to get what I want, not only in dance, but they learn that this also can be carried forward into whatever, if they want to go and study the law or medical school or anything else they want to achieve in life. If it's something different in dance, they take those skills beyond it, beyond the classroom. So in the ballet classroom, dancers are required to conduct themselves a certain way and work hard. And then those very things get instilled in their own psyches, and they develop them as habits. And those habits become ways that they discipline themselves to find success in all areas of life, success in ballet and in dance, but also in other areas. I can tell you, speaking for myself, and I have many of my friends, my personal friends, are also dance teachers, which makes sense because those are the people I see often. We all agree that our students who are the most successful in dance and the most committed are also the best students academically. They are all strong academic students because they they learn that they have to put forth a certain amount of work and conduct themselves and use that discipline for all of their life. And that happens almost across the board, I even, and this is just me, I'm only one person, I do see this in my students, but I have a degree in international policy development that I got while I was also studying dance and performing dance. I have a bachelor's degree from a university in that anyway, I did that. So it can be done. And I took those same skills that I learned in the dance classroom into other areas where I wanted to succeed in life. I've also, and I've also recently, I just completed writing a book that is going to be published. It's going to be available for ordering in July, and then live, it will be published in August. And the skills of just working day to day and not giving up, that discipline was instilled in me through my studies of ballet. And I had the goal of writing a book, and I completed it. And I don't think I would have had that sense of discipline, because nobody was making me write a book. I don't have, I mean, I have parents, but they're not making me do anything anymore. They let me live my own life. And so if I wanted to do it, I had to discipline myself. And I learned those skills very much through the study of ballet, because in order to succeed in ballet, I had to absorb those skills into myself. So I think that the two go hand in hand. I also do believe very much that motivated people and ambitious people and hardworking people are very much naturally attracted to ballet and to other things, because that is just naturally the way that they are. So there's a lot. I don't often find that students become serious about ballet and then somehow start having, failing in other aspects of their life. They're able to because the other part of the discipline that they learn they have to maintain is that very often my parents' students will say, if your grades in school start to fall, we're taking dance away from you. And the students want to dance, they want to be dancers, so they learn at a very young age, I need to get my schoolwork done, I need to manage my time, I need to do these things, because if I don't do that, my parents are taking dance away. So I will teach myself through, and it takes, it takes a few years. I will teach myself. So I find that my students, by the time they reach their teenage years, are very disciplined and very time management. And I was that way too, because the dance requires it. And then you carry that through to other aspects of your life. I am going to quickly now move on to a little bit about education. And that is very much a lot of what I was talking about with discipline. It melts right into the education part of it. There's a lot of overlap. But I did say that ballet students are consistently high achievers, even outside of ballet. I see that my students and all of my peers' students are high achievers academically as well, because of the skills they have learned throughout the time. And I don't have research with me, but there's also a lot of research that classical music is based on mathematical equations. A lot of actual classical music is based on similar mathematical. I'm sorry, can you hear me? Okay, I heard a funny noise for a moment, sorry. Like the music of Bach and Mozart are based on mathematical equations. And so the part of the brain that's activated when one hears classical music is the same part of the brain that is activated doing math. So there is that overlap, and there have been studies done that people who are classical musicians and ballet dancers are also high achievers in mathematics. But it spills over into all of education, again, because of the discipline that you learn to work hard. But there are other benefits as well, because students learn to manage their time. which helps them with their schoolwork. They know they have to get their schoolwork. They learn through dance that they have to take ownership of their own work because nobody is going to do the dancing for them. So they learn they have to do it, and that carries over into their schoolwork. They have to be responsible and take ownership of their schoolwork. They also learn to set long-term goals outside of school, but even academically, the concept of setting a long-term goal and maybe not succeeding right away and being willing to try something in school, try, not do so well, try again, continue to try and get better, and then over a long period of time succeed. And dance teaches them that. It also teaches them a lot of memorization skills, something very basic, because dancers have to memorize an entire language of ballet, the entire vocabulary of ballet, which is not native to most people. At least in America and most countries, French is not the native language, so they have to learn the entire vocabulary, and they also have to learn, they have to memorize dances, and they learn to memorize them quickly. And so those memorization skills help them in their academics and with their education as well. They also learn problem solving skills, because a lot of times when new concepts or new ideas are introduced to them, they struggle with that in dance, and they learn to solve the problem and figure out how to make something work. And they carry that into their education as well. So overall, all the skills that they learn in ballet carry over into their academic work and their education and helps them succeed in that. And the third area I'd like to talk about is social and cultural development. And what I want to say about that is that ballet and dance are community activities. We do not generally dance alone. We don't study ballet alone. We learn them as part of a community, and we learn to work successfully in a community in order to succeed in ballet. The ballet world and the dance world is a very small world. Here we are between the United States and Nigeria, and now I feel like we all know each other. It's a very small world. So because of that, your reputation spreads like fire. We say, it just goes. So you learn socially that you want to present a polite and an ethical and a generous side of yourself, because if you don't, the dance world will know very quickly, and you will be less successful. You may not be offered roles. You may not get the opportunities that you want. So you learn to work as part of a community in order to succeed. And that also can be carried out into the rest of your life, how to work as part of a group. You learn how to follow, if there are guidelines as part of a group, which there are in dance, there are guidelines that the entire group needs to follow in order for the group to meet success. And that carries over into the social and the personal life of a dance student. Even some very concrete things like learning as dancers, we call it spacing, like the spacing where everybody stands. I don't know if you use that same terminology. We talk literally where, if you're learning a dance, the alignment of the people, where everybody stands, and you learn through that to be aware of the space around you and the people around you, that you are not acting as somebody just as yourself, you're acting as part of a group, and you learn to take responsibility for doing your own part to make the entire group successful, which carries into helping yourself and helping your community as far as your own social development and the culture of the community. And just I had a little bit more to say about another important thing that you do remember, that you do learn, is that you learn when you're working as part of when you're in a dance school and you're part of a performance group, you learn that you have to work out disagreements in the group in order for the group to succeed. Because again, for the most part, you don't get to perform all the time as a soloist. You are part of a group, you're part of a school, or you're part of a company. And because we are human beings, there will be disagreements, and you learn that if you want to remain part of that group and you want the entire group to succeed, you have to manage you have to manage your relationships with other people. So you learn to work out disagreements with other people for the good of the group and for your own good, so that you remain in good standing and that you can progress in the group. So that, I think that's a really important skill that dance students learn throughout their years as dance students. And in conclusion, I feel that everything I've laid out they're all good examples of how dance students create success for themselves in life, whether that be through discipline or education or socially. They learn how to create success for themselves and their community through the study of dance. And all that is in addition to all the dancing that they learn and the success that they can build in the dance world. That is basically everything I wanted to say as an opening. And I think that we're opening it to questions. I know Ruben will lead us and tell us what to do, but I hope that helped everybody. I hope that what I said, made sense. Please feel free if something sounded confusing or didn't make sense. I'm very open to any questions or critique. And thank you. I'll turn it over to Ruben now.
You have to remove your earpiece.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you better now.
Okay. Deborah, thank you so much. That was huge. I learned a lot. Okay. There's something she said at the beginning. She said, ballet repairs a student who has a career. So if your child is doing ballet, don't worry. Just know that one of the things it will do for your child is to repair his or her career. Then when she talks about discipline, she said something saying that in our own class, I want us to take note, especially parents, when a child is 15 minutes late, the child is coming to watch and take notes. Did you hear that? But in our country here, that is when we are leaving the house. 15 minutes late, let's say ballet is 10 a.m. We are supposed to leave our house 9 a.m. We are leaving our house 10:15 a.m. But Deborah made us understand that in our own academy, once you are 15 minutes late, I'm sorry, you're coming to the class to watch and take notes. So parents, discipline is we have to get our ballet class on time. Then also she talks about discipline, meaning that it helps you, ballet helps the child do the assignment herself for himself, meaning that because the child has to learn how to dance by herself. So it's a responsibility that, okay, I learned how to be disciplined, how to do things myself. Mommy, daddy, don't worry, I can do this myself, I can do homework myself. So you see what ballet instilled in a child's life. She also talks about memorization skills. She said ballet helps, dance or ballet helps a child to memorize because we have huge vocabularies for the child to learn. So you have to memorize it, know the definition, and you apply it to your dancing skills. So it will also help you in your school. So these are the things ballet helps a child when your child is learning it. So you don't say that, oh, Where is this ballet taking my child to? Am I not wasting money? Am I not this? Am I not that? So you know that your child is not, you're not wasting money. Rather, you're instilling another thing, another discipline in your child, helping your child to focus in his or her school. So now, parent, this is time for question. And our host, Deborah Engerman, is ready to hear our question. But before you ask the question, please unmute, let us know the academy you're speaking from, tell us your name and ask your question. I tell you, feel free, all your doubts, all those questions you have been asking your ballet teachers, all those questions you'll be asking your child's academic studio teacher, feel free and ask our host who has a 30 years experience. So ask your question now. Thank you. If you have a question, please unmute. Tell us the academy you're speaking from and ask your question. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, parents, please, if you have questions, let them start coming in now. While we are waiting for parents to ask questions without wasting much of our time, I want to ask this particular question, and it has to do with education.
So can we ask the question now?
Okay, someone has a question?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
My name is Ebenezer, and my daughter is in Ultra Best. And my question is this: knowing the fact that Nigerian, system is quite different from where Ms. Deborah comes from, and talking about the discipline, I know that might be a little bit hard on the parent. So most of what she said is actually, something the teachers and the, coordinators of all those classes, need to learn from, which is, if they are able to put those discipline on those kids from their classes, which will eventually help them, as she said. And basically what I'm saying is that most of those talks and what she said was actually very excellent things that the teachers could learn from in order for those things to be effective on the kids. So like she said about it, 15 minutes thing, yeah, I know it could work in America because you could actually, you actually know your time. You can actually determine how long it takes from you to go from one place to another. But I don't see that visible in Nigeria because you can't even tell how long you're gonna be there in the traffic. But where it will help the kids is, other aspects of this discipline, how to be self-disciplined and make decisions on your own and be responsible for whatever decision you make, which is a good thing. And my other question is that I think this goes to the school organization, the academy that is training them. What do you see, or how do you see ballet career in Nigeria? Or is it that if you have to do ballet in Nigeria, you have to be outside of the country for you to achieve something in that career? Or do you see that industry coming up or booming in the nearest future? Or is it that this ballet actually have some personal, exercise that helps the kids or something? I understand that the parents, have to fetch the money and, put it on these kids. They like to see how effective this dance is because I don't know if everybody have the opportunity to take their kids out of the country. If not, what kind of career, or is that a career? Is that an industry for ballet? So if I have anybody who can, give clarity to that, that would be Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me answer one of the questions, then I will leave room for other of my instructors. I know my Nigerian instructors are here as well. Okay, talking about coming late to the class, you said in outside the country it is visible, but in Nigeria, yeah, it's not visible. If you follow her, she's one of our students, and she knows that when you come late, Miss Juliet, before you join the class, Miss Juliet will not allow you. So, and they have etiquettes, and one of the etiquettes is you arrive the class 15 minutes. So we try our best as teachers. We try our best as instructors, but the parents also should help us while we help the kids by making sure that the kids leave the house early. Because when they go to school, I know a parent that told me that, Miss Juliet, I cannot leave my house, sister, taking my child to school. Then on Saturday, I will not leave the house early again. So most parents, they do it intentional. Then second, asking if there's a career in ballet in Nigeria, or maybe when you go outside the country. I would say yes, there is a career in ballet in Nigeria, and we're getting there. I know we know one of our dance academics that is outside, which is in Nigeria, that they saw it, which is the Leap of Dance Academy. So that's what I can say, but I will leave it open for all the instructors to add to it. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Dr. Coco. I'm calling from Port Harcourt. My kids attend Shabak Dance Academy, and excellent children. But I want to ask a question. How do you balance academics and ballet? When I mean balance, I've had an experience where a point came, they were so passionate about their dance and they just don't want to go to school anymore. So I had to start talking that, no, you have to go to school even while you're doing your dance. You need to get some grades. So at what point do you balance it to tell them you cannot just do dance, or you can do dance and go for your academics? Because it became a problem. I had to keep talking because even in school, one of them had a head of schools had